Hello, I'm going to talk about the ethics of communication and why it's so important, and kind of how I've learned that this was, pretty important and just pertinent to everyday life. An example and things that I'm going to talk about pertain to kind of my role helping HR and interviewing people and doing development stuff. So with that role, with my previous company, it was really important that we took in feedback from all different resources. And what I mean by that is we have to be open, honest, and we have to let everybody else have a chance on the floor to, share their ideas, because sometimes even our ideas could use tailoring and we could always grow. But if you're not going to be open and honest and accept that feedback or be open to new ideas, then the communication is always just going to feel very one-sided. People aren't going to feel as comfortable kind of navigating and communicating with you. So it's really important, not only so in a development and a communication aspect, but also so everybody feels safe, understood, seen, heard, and that we're supporting diversity. Because again, my experiences and my understanding of life only go so far as to me, but if I'm not open and receptive to other people's experiences and understanding and their differences, then we're always going to feel very one-sided. So again, you want to make sure that you are being collaborative with different people, and not even just honesty and openness, but you also want to make sure that you're making that the set standard in any communicative and collaboration part of a job that you're in. It's always very important, because let's say that you are in a new company and you're, trying to get your footing and you're just meeting everybody. You're going to be more receptive and open in a setting where they're asking you what your feedback is. Even if you're new, they're wanting to see and just figure out new ways to grow, versus a company that is saying, no, this is a set standard way that we do things. This is just the way that it is, and they're not very receptive to any feedback. You're not going to be as open and willing to give them ideas, and then they're missing out on other opportunities or other things that they could be doing and implementing because they just weren't receptive and open to that feedback. So that's why the ethics is so important in communication, especially in a job setting, even in personal and professional, in personal relationships. It's super important as well, because let's say you're talking to a friend and you kind of feel that the decisions that they're making just aren't that smart, but you also have to remember and take into consideration what they're doing with their life is pertinent and are the best decisions that they're believing are for them. And we're not living in their life, but what we can do is still listen, be there, be understanding, and then take any ideas or inspiration from our friends and our family, and then translate that either to our professional setting or implement those in our personal life. So there's so many different ways that ethics can kind of take a play into how we navigate situations and how we're discussing things with people. So it's very important that we know the basics so that we're able to communicate not perfectly, but freely throughout kind of the rest of our lives.